In this galaxy of huge structures and advanced ideas, the Ford Exposition stands out in bold relief. The Ford building is nearly 1,000 feet long, the tower as high as a 10-story building. The Ford Exposition covers an 11-acre tract along the shores of Lake Michigan. It is surrounded by landscaped gardens, from which the tall white walls of the building rise in striking contrast. It can be seen from almost any point in the fairground. Inside the gigantic rotunda, more than 60 antique vehicles brought from Henry Ford's own priceless collection at Dearborn tell the story of man's conquest for faster and more comfortable travel. An ancient chariot, the ox cart, the covered wagon, and early automobiles of many makes are there. The outer wall bears a series of gigantic photographic murals, 20 feet in height and 600 feet in length, depicting scenes from the Ford Rouge plant in Dearborn. Here are Edsel Ford and Henry Ford, two of the most interested visitors at the Ford Exposition. In the center of the huge open court, a revolving globe map, 20 feet in diameter, shows on its surface the vast extent of the Ford industrial world. Henry Ford's conception of industry includes the basic operations of mine, farm, and forest. Diorama or sculpture pictures depict the basic elements used in the Ford B8. Much of the Ford Exposition is built about the methods of fabricating these basic elements and materials into finished Ford parts. The central theme of the exposition is, out of the earth comes the Ford car. This fact is stressed again and again throughout the exposition. More than 5,000 firms supply material for the building of the Ford B8. 21 of the largest of these have displays in the Ford building. The industrial wing, which houses the exhibits, together with many others prepared by the Ford Motor Company, is larger than 2 football fields laid end to end. The building of speedometers for the Ford B8 is shown. Exacting tests must be passed by each speedometer before it is accepted. Ford speedometers tell the truth. They are born honest. Here, automatic machines cut gears for Ford at great accuracy. Even the gaskets for the Ford B8 must be carefully made to pass exacting tests for lasting qualities. Intricate looms weave upholstery for the Ford B8. Carburetors must satisfy expert testers. Here, precision plays a part in making the Ford B8 one of the fastest, liveliest, and most economical cars. A revolving display of parts for the Ford B8, many of which are never seen by the owner, form an interesting exhibit. Henry Ford has a keen interest in the practical education of youth. At the exposition, pupils from his trade school at Dearborn show how they learn to perform a useful part in the modern world of work and play. During a 4-year course, trade school pupils alternate between classroom and shop. This gigantic watch shows how automobile clocks operate. we see what good shock absorbers mean to riding comfort. A miniature mill reproduces the process of rolling steel ingots into strips. Cushion springs play an important part in riding ease. Special machines produce them for Ford B8s at a high rate of speed. Composition rollers, bearing the imprint of mahogany grain, impart a lasting finish to Ford V8 instrument panels. The safety of steel is combined with the beauty of wood. The sturdy, simple construction of the Ford car is shown by the dissected chassis, while a model motor, made entirely of glass, shows the inner workings of the Ford V8 engine. Sturdy Ford front axles offer resistance to a powerful twisting machine, but under extreme stress, bend without breaking. It is constant testing that ensures more quality. Here is a step in the preparation of rubber used in the making of tires, so vital to automobile operation. A battery of special welding machines forms the welded steel Ford wheel. So sturdy and strong is this Ford wheel that when suspended at the hub, 14 Ford cars can be hung from its rim. At the fair, 3 Fords are suspended from one wheel, but 11 more could have been added had space permitted. No wonder Ford owners feel safe. Bodies for the Ford V8 are made entirely of steel, welded together with special equipment developed to join the parts in unions, which are stronger than the material itself. Amid a shower of sparks, these 3 panels of the Ford V8 body are welded as hundreds of spectators look on. In another exhibit, safety glass for Ford windshields is made. 2 layers of glass with the center transparent binding sheet are pressed together and baked under high temperatures to form a single sheet of safety glass. The edges are now sealed with a special waterproof preparation to prevent separation or discoloration. Hot steel ingots are rolled into slender bars between hard metal rollers. These bars are cut into length and after reheating are automatically formed to shape to become drag links, an important part of dependable Ford steering gear. Crowd watching the pouring of white-hot liquid metal for casting processes. An electric furnace heats the metal to a temperature of more than 2,700 degrees, and it is poured off into ladles and later into molds. Flying shuttles, weaving upholstery cloth, never fail to prove fascinating. From thin sheets of brass rolled in special mills at the exposition, a marvelously intricate machine forms Ford V8 radiator tubing. This machine is one of hundreds, demonstrating the speed and absolute control of modern industrial devices. The upholstery woven in another part of the exposition is cut into shape and fed through a gigantic machine capable of producing seats and backs for 600 sedans an hour. This machine, called a multipleter, is contrasted with the old-fashioned handwork. Skilled designers model and play motor cars of tomorrow. A spacious balcony at the Ford building offers cool shade with an excellent view of Lake Michigan and the fair. The Ford V8 motor is a beautiful piece of machinery. In mechanics, beauty means simplicity. Here, skilled workers repeatedly disassemble and assemble a standard Ford motor to demonstrate its qualities of simplicity and accessibility. The average time required for them to completely assemble the V8 motor is less than 10 minutes. During this demonstration, many of the exclusive features of Ford V8 design become apparent. Spectators gain a better understanding of its remarkable performance, its records of long service. Simplicity of Ford V8 design is strikingly demonstrated by the fact that a Ford V8 motor can be and is assembled before your very eyes in less than 10 minutes. Aluminum cylinder heads are standard equipment on the 1934 Ford V8 passenger car engine. The story of aluminum, too, is told at the exposition. The molten metal is poured into a mold to emerge in the form of a V8 cylinder head. An escalator provides an easy approach to the balcony in the Ford Exposition building. Hexagon-headed bolts of uniform size and accuracy are produced from cold steel by a battery of automatic machines working with great rapidity. Even spark plug insulators for the Ford V8 are severely tested. If they can be lifted from a packing of dry ice more than 100 degrees below zero and suddenly thrust into a hot flame without breaking, they prove their ability to withstand punishment in actual use. Utilization of byproducts helps in quality manufacture. A Ford V8 contains more than 15,000 separate parts. Each of these, large and small, is displayed in this interesting exhibit. Intricate machines weave spider-like wiring systems. Wires like these will connect the lights, self-starter, generator, storage battery, and horns. The Ford Exposition includes an air-conditioned theater where a motion picture with special symphonic music tells the fascinating story of the Ford Rouge plant. Nearby, the latest Ford and Lincoln models are on display. The heart of the Ford Exposition is the humble shop where 40 years ago, Henry Ford, then a young unknown inventor, worked and planned and dreamed high dreams. There he built his first automobile. There, too, he conceived the theories of low-cost quantity production which have made his industrial organization the largest in the world under the control of one man. The vast improvement in machine shop equipment through the past century is vividly depicted by an early machine shop. In contrast is modern equipment, which tests Ford parts with an accuracy expressed in millionths of an inch. With 1 foot on the land and 1 in industry, America is safe, says Henry Ford. At his exposition, an industrialized barn shows how soybeans grown on the farm may be processed for industrial purposes. An extensive display of early traction engines stands in front of the Ford barn. The barn contains machinery which converts soybeans into the parts used in Ford cars. Mr. Ford has long predicted a closer and mutually profitable union between farm and industry. This Ford part was made from soybeans processed in the industrialized barn. Many visitors to the Ford Exposition make a circuit of the roads of the world. Ford cars are placed at the disposal of guests for a trip around the oval, which contains sections of many famous roads of the world. Henry Ford has said, that the auto made roads, and roads make commerce and civilization. In the short space of a comfortable 4-minute ride, these visitors are carried back through a period of 4,000 years to roads which knew the tread of the Roman legions, the yellow hordes of Genghis Khan, the moccasined feet of Daniel Boone and his Indian friends. They see the bleaching bones of men and beasts as they rot beneath the fierce rays of the sun, beating down upon the great slave route across Africa. Here also are sections of roads from Germany, Belgium, Canada, Southern Africa, Asia, England, and many of the more modern types built in America today. Military roads, roads built exclusively for royalty, roads for slaves, all are there in this significant exhibit. And now, once more nightfall overtakes us. We end our day at the Ford Exposition by joining the throngs who sit at twilight in the amphitheater where the Detroit Symphony plays daily. It has been a memorable day, this one at the Ford Exposition. Here we have caught an echo of the hum of machinery and the throb of busy activity from the greatest of all industrial plants. Here we have been able to sense something of its high purpose and its vast significance. The Ford Exposition is at once the fulfillment of a promise and the realization of a dream. It is an indication of the future, a reassuring prophecy of another century of progress.